According to William Shakespeare, there are 7 stages of man. These stages are very important because this emphasizes the development of the human innate ability to become the whole person of themselves. But, have you ever wondered where human came from? Have you ever know the first phase of human development? If not, come on, join us as we explore the beginning of the beginning. 1, 2, 3. Where are you from? The beginning of the beginning. Chromosome. Store and transmit genetic information. Genes. Segment of DNA located along chromosome. DNA. Substance of which genes and chromosomes are made.
Some well-known harmful teratogens are viruses, such as the flu or rubella, alcohol, nicotine, prescription drugs, such as antidepressants, or radiation. It's interesting that all of these are particularly dangerous during certain periods of prenatal development. Viruses have a major impact early on in pregnancy, but not so much towards the end. Specifically, if a mom gets the flu between month 4 and 6 of pregnancy, the risk of schizophrenia increases for the child later in life. Now, the odds only go from about 1% to 4%, but it's a significant increase. In addition, nicotine exposure from maternal smoking can lead to low birth weight or even stillbirth. So this shows that the developing brain is really vulnerable to both environmental stimulation and toxic chemicals. That's why prenatal care is so important to a developing fetus.
Implantation is the process by which the fertilized egg attaches to the endometrium, lining tissues of the uterus. The cells in the fertilized egg continue to divide. The fertilized egg leaves the fallopian tube and enters the uterus 3 to 4 days after fertilization. A tubal or ectopic pregnancy results in the rare cases in which the fertilized egg does not properly enter the uterus. An ectopic pregnancy poses serious health risks to the mother. First trimester, week 1 to 12. The early changes that signify pregnancy become present in the first trimester. A missed period may be the first sign that fertilization and implantation have occurred, ovulation has ceased, and you are pregnant. Some of the changes you experience in your first trimester may cause you to revise your daily routine. You may need to go to bed earlier or eat more frequent or smaller meals. Some women experience a lot of discomfort, and others may not feel any at all. Pregnant women experience pregnancy differently, and even if they've been pregnant before, pregnant women may feel completely differently with each subsequent pregnancy. At 4 weeks, your baby is developing. At 8 weeks, the embryo begins to develop into a fetus. The end of the first trimester is at about 12 weeks, at this point in your baby's development. Second trimester, weeks 13 to 28. Once you enter the second trimester, you may find it easier than the first. Your nausea, morning sickness, and fatigue may lessen or go away completely. However, you will also notice more changes to your body. That baby bump will start to show as your abdomen expands with the growing baby. By the end of the second trimester, you will even be able to feel your baby move. At about 20 weeks in the second trimester, your baby continues to develop. By 24 weeks, even more changes occur for your growing baby. Third trimester, week 29 to 40. The third trimester is the final stage of pregnancy. Discomforts that started in the second trimester will likely continue, along with some new ones. As the baby grows and puts more pressure on your internal organs, you may find you have difficulty breathing and have to urinate more frequently. This is normal, and once you give birth, these problems should go away. In the third and final trimester, you will notice more physical changes. Other changes are happening in your body during the third trimester that you can't see. As your due date approaches, your cervix becomes thinner and softer in a process called effacement that helps the cervix open during childbirth. The importance of early experiences for brain development. Some synapses are created in the brain while the fetus is still in the womb. In the last months of the pregnancy, the fetus is able to hear external sounds, see light and taste flavors. The sounds, light, and flavors, in addition to the proprioceptive information of his own movement and possibly the sense of touch he feels when his mother rubs her expanded belly, all provide information that is conducted through the brain in synaptic connections. The effects of stress and violence on brain development. Of course, positive experiences are not the only ones that have an impact on brain development. Stressful experiences also occur. The National Scientific Council on the Developing Child suggests that there are 3 levels of physical stress responses in young children: positive, tolerable, and toxic. Positive stress responses are mild and of short duration. Most importantly, a responsive adult with whom the child has a meaningful, ongoing relationship buffers the child's experience and helps calm him. Positive stress responses are mild and of short duration. Most importantly, a responsive adult with whom the child has a meaningful, ongoing relationship buffers the child's experience and helps calm him. The brain that is growing in an atmosphere of toxic stress actually develops a different physical structure. The result may be a child who has great difficulty functioning when presented with the world of kindness, nurturing, and stimulation. It is an unfamiliar world to him. His brain has not developed the pathways and memories to adapt to this new world. In a paper on stress, the authors state that excessive stress disrupts the architecture of the developing brain. Your doctor will monitor the progress of your pregnancy with regular exams, especially as you near your due date. Finally, through 37 to 40 weeks, the last stages of your baby's development. The evidence that very young infants are active learners is compelling. They are born able to find the nipple and suck, thanks to inborn reflexes. They like to look at human faces and hear human voices. They use facial expressions that adults can easily understand, even though they have never seen their own faces. Newborns are ready to learn and ready to engage in relationships. The baby is adjusting to life outside the womb, managing breathing, eating, digestion, elimination, and temperature regulation. The newborn infant is experiencing an array of new sensory experiences: touch, sound, light, odors, and tastes. Abilities of the newborn. In the first weeks of life, the newborn will move his arms and legs in small jerking movements or in wide flailing movements, but none of these actions appears to be intentional. The newborn keeps his hands fisted and will hold an asymmetrical posture on his back, with one arm down to his side and the other raised near his head. Premature birth. Not all babies remain in the womb for the full gestation of 40 weeks. Infants born before 37 weeks gestation are considered premature. There are many possible causes and outcomes of prematurity. Premature infants are at risk for these issues: respiratory distress syndrome, RDS, apnea, intraventricular hemorrhage, IVH, retinopathy of prematurity, ROP, jaundice, hyperbilirubinemia, chronic lung disease, bronchopulmonary dysplasia, BPD.